All right, hey everyone. This is going to be the first episode of my series where I react to and give feedback on Halo montages. Now, this is one I have seen many times, so the reaction is not going to be a first time reacts, just because I wanted to start this series off like this, since no one, has sent me a video yet since I just started this. So if you'd like me to review and give feedback on one of your Halo montages, link it down in the description. And if you want to see the actual video without me pausing and talking about it, this is Into the TranQ, edited by Sillygoose, and it'll be down in the description. It's the first video. Click on it. It's one of the best Halo montages ever made, in my opinion. So I'm going to dive into watching and reacting, giving feedback on this montage. I don't really have too much feedback. It's more you and I are going to sit through and watch one of my favorite montages ever made, and we're going to praise it and show frame by frame kind of what's going on in certain scenarios. That's why I'm in Premiere here. You can't see, but I am. Oh, I'm clicking the wrong button. Let me click over to Premiere so I can go frame by frame. You can see down in the bottom corner, and I have a little bit more control rather than just watching it on YouTube like a lot of people do. So we're going to deal with the box that is here. So let's dive into the TranQ by Sillygoose, and this is the Halo 3 competitive montage, and it is amazing. I have it turned down quite a bit so I can hear myself talk over it. Hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. It's still pretty loud. "2014, damn." Also, I'm watching this in half quality. Why would I do that? So this intro is pretty unique because, this is during 2014, the era of Halo 4, one of the big fall-offs in the montaging community and Halo in general. And it starts off, as you'll see here, they're obviously in Halo 4, and we bring it back to Halo 3. And 3D work maybe needs some work, but man, I still love the concept, and it looks great. As I spoil it before it pops up, there we go. So yeah, nowadays a lot of people have like crazier textures, not textures, but crazier models kind of going on. Even I have a crazier model, but this still 2014, and it's just a unique concept. A little glitching there. One thing I will give Halo 4 credit for is I think Haven is like the best thing, or my favorite thing about Halo 4. I think this map is amazing. He's got a little, I gotta switch my mouse over, but obviously he rotoed him out there. Does he have a shadow? He's giving out the shadow. See, that's why we love Sillygoose. He's got the depth of field, the shadow, some parallax going on here. He's covering all the bases. Flying through the Halo 4 maps, Halo Reach maps, then bam, back into Halo 3. Honestly, one of the better intros to a Halo montage in my eyes. Even if the 3D was better, I don't think it really changes the quality of the intro. You know, like there's some things that still hold their quality even if you like spend more hours in certain things. Like it gets the point across. Yeah, that's a hype way to get people into it, especially when everyone's playing Halo 4 and they're not feeling Halo. Then all of a sudden you see this, bring me back to Halo 3. I feel like I'm going to be pausing all the time. The fact that a lot of songs have a crazy slow build up, and using it in a montage is really annoying because what are you going to do? A ton of map angles, kind of hyping it up, and then go into gameplay. But what's nice about this one is he has a clip at the start of a match, and he just like starts the match, and then the clip can kind of play off the slow part of the song into it. Obviously, the song doesn't have too short of a slow part, but I thought that was really cool. And just watching it now, I kind of didn't clue in to how perfect that is. Start the game, start the montage. Let's go. Let's go. Man, I'm going to pause all the time. Oh no. I love this montage. I feel like when I'm watching other people's for the first time, I'm not going to do as much pausing just to kind of experience it, but I've seen this one so much. So, snipes the first guy, and then he himself adds a highlight effect. You can see my mouse, hopefully. It's a highlight effect around the player here. That's not in game. So a little highlight, and snipes him. Let's just back it up a little bit. Now that I'm playing that, I don't know if he added that, but it looked added at full speed. He uses this transition a lot. I'll not pause too many times because it's gonna mess with you. But that kind of transition, like right here, is the same kind of transition he did earlier. But last time he like rotoed a guy into position, which I thought was pretty unique, and I copied in some of my montages. Damn, I'm gonna pause all the time. Hopefully I do all my pausing at the beginning here. So one thing Sillygoose does really well here is he cuts on action, and it's the same kind of camera motion and action that was in the previous shot, so it carries over. So you see here he sniped this guy, and then he's spinning to the left, right? And it cuts to the camera going left. Very, like, it's not even subtle. It's just dead on. This is how you edit things and make it smooth. He has a fade in there, but you wouldn't even need the fade, honestly. If it had like a beat on the song, like as he was cutting or as he was turning, you could use that. And honestly, with how well the motion kind of matches, like one of them is literally his POV spinning, and the other one is a camera going left. And either way, both of them carry over, and you can you probably don't even notice. You just feel that it's smooth, like the flow. I back it up again. All right, let's go into it. He did it there with the POV. You didn't catch it as well. So he snipes this guy. Then he jumps up, and it cuts. Well, I was gonna say it looks like it jumps up, but actually just the speed up here helps carry the transition. My bad, guys. I'll let it play out. That angle's amazing. Oh, see? If you weren't going frame by frame, you wouldn't even like break this down. Snipes this guy. I don't know if the crosshair was anywhere near him. Says it is. Then suddenly you see something fading in. Oh, this is sick. See, I would have just brought the guy in, but you can see what frame by frame here. You can actually, it almost looks like, man, I hope you can see my mouse. I'm moving my mouse on the screen to point at stuff. I don't know if OBS is recording that. But there's this dark spot on the pit ground here, right? So that's just part of the map. You're like, you see, it's just a little darker there on the ground. But then it fades in, and it's actually the guy. So he kind of got the darkness. It looks like the darkness is very similar to that, and it kind of comes in a few frames, and he's flying at him. Maybe a little roto work needs, well, you know, how fast it goes, right? Like it happens so fast in real time. You don't even need like this clean a roto. You could like cheat it a bit and have it a little scuffed, and it would still look great. So boom, the guy's coming closer, switches to the actual shot. Okay, let's back that up. You don't even notice. And I swear I've watched this hundreds of times, maybe like 50 times to 100, I don't even know. And not as this much detail is going frame by frame, but I never caught that as well. The slight scaling in there on each BR shot, I mean, I'm never a fan of those, but that's a nice mask. I just want to see what he did here, sorry. Not the bring it in part, but this. Yeah, so he literally just masked that, which I knew, which we all knew. He was just masking that. But then the background. Okay, so if you're using After Effects, this looks like it is CC Light or CC Light Burst. I'd have to double check. That's on the stuff here, like in the background. I'm trying to point at my screen. Obviously not the roto part, but the actual background image looks like it's CC Light Burst. I don't remember. I have to play with it. And that's what he did. He scaled it in after the shot. Oh, I thought the whole thing. Okay, never mind. You can see, like, I'm pausing so much, and you're probably mad at just pause again, but I'm pausing so much to go over little details. You have no idea how long it takes to edit these montages. This thing just flies by if I played that whole section, and like someone who might not understand or really get what's going on here. But there is so much work and effort being put into not only like when we cut, how the transitions go, but all these little detail effects that. So far, all his effects have been to make it smoother. They haven't been in like, in your face, here's an effect, look how flashy this is. It's been like, bam. I mean, it's not been like bam. It's been like a subtle, let's make this smooth and or feel smooth and slow. I forgot to mention he clearly has motion blur placed on this. So RBS motion blur or real smart motion blur or RBSM if you're looking, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. If you're looking for the plugin in After Effects. His angles, I think Sillygoose is the best person at angles in the entire Halo community. I think many people have said that for years. Not my favorite transition, a little corny for the like this is such a professional, high quality montage that stands out to me. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying this style of montage. I mean, it actually looks better frame by frame than it did in real time. I wonder why that is. I think it's the little wibbles that are wibbles. I don't know. But man, it's creative. Gotta mix it up, you know? And Halo 3 was just the perfect montage video game. Hopefully Infinite's sick. Like the montaging, I mean, in it. Okay, well, before I get into what he just did there, which we've already talked about, I want to say a lot of these videos is not going to be just me talking. Some of them I might even bring the editor on, but a lot of them, like I work with Lalo or Muggsy, one of the best Halo montagers and editors to this day, and we really want to do this together. So sorry, Lalo, I'm kind of doing this on my own right now, but I just wanted to dive in because I know you're busy this week, and I wanted to get a feel for it. So what we're gonna talk about here is he goes regular speed, then he reverses the clip, and he does it in a way that it's not like super tacky. Sometimes when you reverse, usually a lot of reverses people do, they're like really noticeable and it kind of throws you off. But he reverses it so then the character is going left to right on screen, and it cuts to the character going left to right on screen. I mean, clearly you guys know that, but I just want to show you. The use of speed ups are really noticeable too. Kind of makes it smoother, like speeding up and then going to regular speed. I love the black bars here. I don't know why, and I would never suggest the average editor to do that ever. Wow. But it works there. This is kind of cool transition. So as the, again, I didn't notice this before, as the, if I could talk, the plasma grenade is blowing up. He kind of uses like a camera shake to zoom in. But look at this, like the actual scope detaches from the HUD, and then he uses that to go in. Man, that's it. Those camera angles, man. Also the music in this. The music really matters. We always struggle with not using copyright music because, I mean, you can't monetize or do anything like that. But you gotta use copyright music. It's just better, and the music is almost more important in some ways than the clips. It's just the way it is. This is the first use of track text. I'm not in love with it. I'd love if I was gonna get feedback, which I'm sure you don't need feedback, Sillygoose. I'm just for the video, if I was going to give feedback, different fonts, different font strengths, and have them not be in the same Z space, have them be like a little disconnected from each other, if that makes sense. Like, again, I don't know if you can see my mouse, and I don't know how you do it. You really have to play with text over and over until you get something you like, but this text is already there. There's nothing, like it's not animating itself, it's not writing itself, it's not appearing letter by letter like typewriter out, and it's all on the same like Z space. So really, I would just add some depth, or make it dynamic by adding some depth and a little bit of motion, and boom, it'd be good. And that's really all you need. I like that it's opaque somewhat. I love the camera shakes. I'm a huge fan of camera shakes like that. And the music's so good. That's cool transition. See, a lot of them play off each other. Like, they're all kind of the same ideas, these transitions, right? But that's kind of what makes the style. Like, this montage has this style of repeating some of the same ideas and effects, and it doesn't feel like, oh, it just keeps repeating them. It feels like, now this is, I'm not explaining this right, but like, this is the video. Like, you pick a style and you pick an effect that represents that video. It kind of helps play into like how you would view this later. I'm really not explaining this right. I don't know how to explain this right. But if you watch a Matrix movie, like the color palette, you think Matrix, and that's kind of what I think with some of these montages. They have certain effects and stuff that they stick through and carry throughout, so it's a consistent throughout the video, and that gives it its character. That's a little better explanation. Still kind of fucking that up. This is really cool. So zoom in, and it looks like this guy had like a CC cartoon effect on him for a second. Yeah, it looks like there's some kind of effect, but he added the depth of field, which is nice, which in 2014 he probably had a roto that whole thing by the looks of it. Luckily now you don't have to do that. You can just use all the crazy reshaders and NVIDIA shadow play or NVIDIA overlays and stuff. It's so much easier now, and there's so much more high quality stuff to make montages, but there just happens to be a smaller community. Oh, this is sick. So the music right here, as we, okay, I'll let it play, then I'll bring it back, all right? I'll let it play. The problem is because I know this montage, I pause before things happen, but I gotta let you guys see them, and then I'll bring it down. So I have a video on talking about this kind of audio effect here, but basically, as he changes the focus, so he's rack focusing to this grenade, what the audio is doing is the treble is dropping a lot and the bass is going up. And then it transitions back to normal. Easy to do, you don't even need After Effects for that. I have a tutorial on it, muffled audio effect. A lot of people, oh my god, I'm gonna pause all the time. A lot of people do these kind of effects where they split the screen, and everyone, I find it looks horrible. And there's even one later on here I'm not a big fan of at all, but this is smooth, this looks good. And if you can pull it off, then something tells me that editor is like talented, because I can't pull it off. And I mean, I'm not that talented, but a lot of people can't pull it off, and it just really stands out. But this doesn't stand out or catch me off guard. Like nothing's off-putting, it just kind of like flows, which means like he did a good job, obviously. So I have a video where I do Sillygoose's top 10 effects, and obviously he has way more than 10 effects. There's tons. Even in this video, we broke down some that would change my list. But this is one I broke down or added to that, where it just fades out. The guy kind of warps in, but he doesn't just pop. So he doesn't just pop in rotoscope. He also has like a flash on him, and I think that's what sells it. So he flashes in, then he kind of starts to go back to the color that is the background, or like what he actually was. Something about that really sells it for me. And obviously there was a mass transition there you might even caught because it was so smooth. So the character wipes the screen into that shot. I mean, all that super smooth. Fine with that text. You don't have to be fancy with the same game stuff. I love, man, the angles are so good. It's so much better than anyone else's angles. I love that transition too. That's what he did earlier, keeping the consistency. This angle is unreal for some reason. I don't know if it's a crazy camera shake that really hooks me on it, but man. You could just follow what was happening perfectly, like really like well done angles or camera work. He does a lot of like in the POV of the player, it's scaling in. I find like right there, I'm just talking and he's doing it. And I find I can't do that and it doesn't look professional. Most of the time people will do it. But like I said, Sillygoose pulls it off where, man, it just flows. It's just flowing so well. And here he's using it to show off like people, obviously, like they're spawning, there's an enemy there and there. I don't know if they're spawning, but there's an enemy there and there. I usually use it for like big impact moments. It hits and kind of scales in. But a lot of people are just, I try not to swear, a lot of people are just scaling in all the time, like Call of Duty montages or something. And I don't know, it just seems like really corny and weak and tells me they need to work on their editing. But this is perfect. And as I talked about this before it came up, because he does it multiple times throughout the video. The classic Halo angle. I love that too. That AFK. I love the syncing to the music there. So like the BR shots are like dun, 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 and as it says own, this guy just gets slow-mo killed. He even has like everything go out of focus. It looks like this guy's soul is leaving his body, but clearly just like RGB effect. This camera work is so good. Oh, see, like this. No one else could pull it off like that. That would look so corny normally. Even I like try to mimic this in a montage I made. Outcast, I made a montage where I dedicated. Oh my god, I have to pause because there's so much stuff going on here. Where I like paid homage to a ton of editors, and that was an effect I played homage to for Sillygoose. And man, mine looks so bad and corny, and this looks so good. Also, all right, the medals. You make 3D medals. You gotta love that. That one felt out of sync to me. Something about like the Halo 3 sniper and then just reloading it right after just looks so cool because we snipe and then the gun like goes up. The camera shake on the angles, I think that's what it is. It gets really good at angles, like that's unreal actually to get that, especially with how Halo Theater is. The camera shake really sells it. I always like subtly do camera shake. This is a cool transition with the 3D logos here. But he's like going ham with the camera shake. Maybe have some sound effects for that a little more, but I have the music turned down so maybe I can't hear it. This is the one I was talking about. See, the other ones felt like super clean and like they flowed and something about them seemed really professional. I don't think this one meets the quality bar that the other ones did, but maybe that's just me. It just popped out to me. Such good camera work. See? Oh my god. The camera work's unreal. I'm fanboying. I'm a huge Sillygoose fanboy. I like this effect because he like goes out there and just does what he wants. But I guess that's my reasoning for liking it, so maybe that's not the best reasoning. But like not afraid to like do something like that. I would try something like that. Not be a fan of it and just delete it, go back to normal. But it's because I don't know, that's how I am. The fact he can just do that and it works, it's awesome. To the beat, oh, it's so good. I always thought this video was like one of my favorite montages of all time, and then watching this frame by frame with you guys is making it higher on that list. Even though I had that too, I guess, but it's still making it so high. Like, it just makes me appreciate it more. It's so good. I love those transitions. He did that in a lot of his Halo 4 montages too. They're so clean. See, the same kind of style of effects we saw earlier, and it's just so good. Why is my floor shaking? Neighbors partying it up Friday. Like that. I don't know why. I could never make that look good. And he has the sound effect with it too. I don't know if you guys can hear, but plays with the scale. Oh my god. He's doing all the things I dream I could do or pull off. I'm not talking about the gameplay, I'm talking about the editing, clearly. Just to clear that up. I could not pull that off even close to the gameplay, but I care about the editing more. These are all saying it's from the same game. Yeah. You just have to like consider when it's a slow part in a song like this, like what are you gonna do? That was a nice way to do it, to be honest. Kept like the pace going and didn't like pop out as something different. That's why I put so much effort into rotoscoping things back in the day before you like didn't have to with all these new effects. It looks like he has like a vertigo shot going on, and he rotoscoped these guys so you can get that crazy depth of field. Because it looks so good. That's what makes your montages stand out, especially back then. Camera shake again, it's so good. A lot less effects going on right now. I wonder if he has the same issue I have. When we get to the end of the project, Just trying to finish it, maybe. But it's not losing quality because of that. I don't want to say it like that. It's just something I picked up on. That was, I don't know why, that I really like that. The Team Slayer text, so it doesn't like distract you, just popping on. He swings it in here, so rotoscopes it, swings it, and fades. Smart. Oh my gosh. Then he has it move before. Holy cow! So he has it move before the rest of the thing scales in. That was a one frame thing, and he fades in the background with it still there. That's so subtle that no one would notice. I've never noticed, and that makes it so much more, I keep wanting to say smoother. It makes it so much more smoother. That's not a good way to say it, but you know what I'm saying. Watching this makes me realize how bad I am at editing montages. That's how you hide a AFK kill, is you have a ton of camera angles and then he gets the kill. I do that too. Camera shake, scale in, depth of field, same blur effect you used earlier. Tie it all back in together, put a bow on it. Amazing. One of the best Halo montages I've ever seen. If you have a Halo montage you would like me to review or give feedback, or what I did here is pause 100 times and freak out, send it to me down in the comments. Has to be your video. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you go like this actual video, like go click the link in the description and watch this without me spoiling and ruining everything for you, and you can really appreciate how well it all flows together in real time. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.